What's good, Shellitronnn here. You can call me Shells, and I'm back at again with a brand new video. And I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry biscuit. Dave Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, is 2 for 2 on the day. I think every single fan of the Carolina Panthers should send this man a thank you, not a gift. Not a gift. This man is worth too many billions of dollars to be given a gift this Christmas season. Not to mention he did finesse South Carolina into paying for his construction on the Panthers' new HQ. They had to go ahead and make a brand new law making it legal for South Carolina to use tax money to pay David Tepper to bring his Panthers HQ to South Carolina. That's a whole different video for a whole different day. Let's stay on topic here. David Tepper deserves our thanks. He starts off the day, this beautiful Monday, this beautiful 21st of December. We got our superpowers. This man went ahead and he fired Marty Hurney. He heard the fans who have been talking about this since before he even bought the team. Fans of the Carolina Panthers have been complaining about Marty Hurney for years now. Feels like decades, honestly. But 2020 has felt like 9-10 years by itself, so the math actually does check out. And then in his news conference he had, in his presser he had earlier this morning, he dropped the biggest W this side of Wisconsin. Throw up the tweet right here from Joe Person. It says, David Tepper on Teddy Bridgewater and QB position. He says, unless you have that guy at quarterback that gets you to playoffs in the Super Bowl, you have to keep evaluating. He was also asked directly, is identifying a quarterback for the future a priority for the next GM? And he said, if we think there's somebody, we're going to go for what helps the team most of the time. If it's that position, then we'll take it. As of right now, with the Cowboys winning yesterday, and unfortunately the Falcons did lose, but we're still ahead of them in the draft. The Panthers are poised to be picking number 4 in the draft this year. I never believed this could be possible, and we have really no shot at beating the Washington team. And I'm pretty sure the Saints will be fighting for their playoff seeding in Week 17, so they should still have their starters in for sure. So we can go ahead and chalk up 2 straight L's to end this season. I think we hold our own fate in our hands if we just lose out. There is not a single chance this team can pick any higher than 4. I don't want to hear about, well, what about the moral victory of beating the Washington football team because they have Ron Rivera and we just fired him. What if people say we made a mistake? It would be a much bigger mistake to win a game and lose, what, 3-4 draft spots? Go from 4 to 8 or 9 so you can have bragging rights about winning 5 games in a season? Is that what you want? I know that's not what you want. You're a very smart guy. I trust you and your judgment. Never ask that question to me ever again. Let's move on. This team is poised to actually have a very respectable chance at getting a quarterback. When you're at number 4, the top 2 guys are going to be gone, obviously. But at number 4, you have a much better shot at trading up to 2. The team has to give up a lot less starting at 4, trading up to 2. Than they would from 8 trading up to 2. That is a huge margin in the NFL draft, especially when you need a quarterback, especially when you know there are plenty of teams in the league right now who would be willing to trade up in this specific draft. Now, I know what I've said for the past forever now. I said I did not want a quarterback. That was before this Panthers team had a shot at picking number 4 in the draft. And with David Tepper being so open, and while he didn't say that Teddy Bridgewater was a bad quarterback and they're going to cut Teddy or, he won't be on the team or he won't be starting in the future, David Tepper not giving Teddy Bridgewater a shining endorsement is already an indictment enough against just how secure Teddy Bridgewater's job is as starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. I don't care about PJ Walker. I don't care about Will Greer at this point. If we're picking number 4 in this draft, you can do a lot with that. And just to compound that, Dave was also asked, with the economic challenges of roster building, isn't it important to exhaust every possibility in finding a young quarterback? And what that means is, obviously, look, it's hard to build a roster and pay these guys. We've seen with Marty Hurney, we like overpaying dudes. But even more so with quarterbacks getting paid even more and more every single day, it seems like the real formula for winning a Super Bowl is to build a team that is a quarterback away. Then you draft a guy, and at some point in the first, 4 or 5 years of his rookie deal, you win the Super Bowl. Because once you pay that dude, he is going to be eating up a huge chunk of your salary cap, unless you have a top 3, maybe 4 defense, a transcendent defense, and a transcendent quarterback, it's going to be very hard to retain all those players who are very good past their contracts. And most contracts are going to be like, 3-4 years. It's hard to align all of those perfectly. It's better to have a team that's getting paid and a very, very good quarterback making rookie money for 4 or 5 years, and that is your window. And me and Dave see eye to eye on this. He said, especially with that position that counts so much in the NFL, especially with the way the rules are now more than ever, I think you always have to continuously try to be the best you can be at that position. Always look for the best person you can possibly have, or what you can have right now. So I think it's constant analysis of what you have and what you have in the future. It's not so easy to find an elite quarterback, and he is speaking facts. There are hits in later rounds in the draft. There are misses in the very early part of the first round all the time. It is very hard to evaluate what an elite quarterback is going to be based off of, their college film, and even where they get drafted too. The culture, the coaching, all this stuff 100% matters when you talk about how an NFL quarterback develops in his career. There have been guys who could have probably been great. There are quarterbacks who get put in situations where they cannot flourish. So you got to have things in place to make sure they can grow and become the best quarterback they can possibly be. But we're getting sidetracked. That's all about the future. Let's talk about the present. The present is the one that David Tepper gave to us, and we open it up with our eyes wide like, what could this possibly be? No more Teddy Bridgewater. Just what I wanted. Teddy Bridgewater has clearly lost the confidence of the front office, probably lost the confidence of the coaching staff, and I know for damn sure he lost the confidence of those receivers. I saw Robbie Anderson on the sideline of that game just this past Saturday at Green Bay. He did not look happy when he only needed 4 yards to get 1,000. And it took Teddy so long to get him that 1,000 yards. I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he not target Robbie once until very late in the third quarter or very early in the fourth quarter? That reminds me a lot of when Michael Thomas needed, 14 or 24 yards in that game against us when we had Kyle Allen starting in 2018, and Teddy Bridgewater couldn't get Michael Thomas those yards until the third quarter of that game as well. Teddy Bridgewater has proven he is not a starter caliber NFL quarterback. Teddy isn't horrible, has no spot in the NFL, but he has no spot on this Panthers team. And I think David Tepper made it very, very clear that he does not have the confidence at the highest level of the Panthers organization. So I would not be surprised, and I'm actually open to this, if the Panthers go ahead and look for a quarterback in this draft. We're at number 4 right now as things stand. We're in very good position to maybe be in a spot to go for a quarterback and potentially move up. I'd be cool with that starting at 4. I've changed my tune. That's how I feel about it, man. What are your thoughts on Teddy, a new quarterback in the draft, maybe even using money in free agency for a quarterback? What do you think the Panthers should do? Should they trade up? Should they stay where they are at 4? Should they go down a few spots to get Trey Lance or, maybe even Wilson? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.